Welcome back to the CoachIQ podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Kirsch, and we are here today with Brandon Evans of Pro Standard Basketball Academy. Welcome. Thanks for being here, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me. I'm excited for this.
So you're calling in from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Would love for you to paint a picture. What's going on up in Fort Wayne?
There's probably about 250,000 people here, I think. Not really well known. It's probably like 2 hours north of Indianapolis. That's a major landmark. It's probably one of the bigger cities in Indiana. Still not too many people here, but I just moved here 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago in like a month. So I don't fully know what's going on here. No, it's one of those towns that like it has everything. Like it has a downtown, it has all your areas of a bigger city, but it's just not at that scale. Sure. Like if I wanted to go downtown and have like a downtown day, like I could. It has like tall-ish buildings, nothing crazy, but it's a small town feel, but it's not necessarily a small town, if that makes sense.
For sure. And Indiana, I mean, the stereotype is a basketball state, obviously with the Pacers doing pretty well. I'm sure the energy is up over there. So for what you do, I assume it's a good spot.
Yeah. There's so many kids here that play basketball. There's so many just people that want to be involved in the sport. Obviously, like you said, with the Pacers, like that was big. We're getting a bunch of kids that have never played before that are like, I want to play now. I'm like, all right, got something for you. But yeah, it's basketball definitely runs deep here.
I love it.
For sure.
You're going to see a bunch of kids releasing the ball like Halliburton soon.
Oh yeah. You already do.
I love it. I love it.
So you try to fix it and they're like, that's how Tyrese shoots. Okay.
Hey, if the ball goes in, man, we're cool with it.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So over at Pro Standard, I walk in the doors. What am I seeing?
So this from the outside isn't going to look at all like a regular gym. Basically, like when we got this place, we didn't really have much of a choice as far as locations because there's nothing really here that has high ceilings and the space we need. So we took a super old warehouse, it's like 120 years old, and turned it into a gym. So I got super lucky. My landlord, he runs a business attached to this facility, and he spent a ton of time cleaning this place up, like patching up all the concrete, putting in a bunch of walls, like giving me electrical outlets wherever I wanted. Like I got super, super lucky. If you're out there trying to think of or trying to find a spot, don't expect that. That is not normal for the landlord to cater to your every need. I got lucky, but you'll see a presentable old warehouse. Like we took a lot of time to make this feel homey, but of course you have all the aspects of a warehouse, like super dusty if we don't keep up with it, like your garage doors. Just it's a presentable old warehouse and it works, and we try to make it as homey as possible.
I think you are living the dream of a lot of trainers. I think most private trainers have that goal of opening up their own facility, but they don't know the nitty gritty details of it all. So when you got the facility, great that the landlord was catering to your needs, but how'd you go about things like picking flooring, hoops, lighting? Where did you get that type of information?
So I knew that we weren't going to have like your traditional full court. So I was looking for, I'm sure everybody's seen like those sport court tiles, just like the square ones, and you click them together. I was reaching out to manufacturers for those and see if they could get installed or delivered or whatever. I literally just typed in sport court on Google and called up a bunch of places. And we were on such a tight schedule because the facility we worked out of before, it was a church, and they eventually had to sell their building. So like we had like 5-6 months to find a spot, get everything and move in and all that stuff, which 5 or 6 months sounds like a long time, but when you're doing a project like that, it is absolutely not. I was stressed out. But one of the sport court manufacturers, I called the guy. He said they have the court, and he is like, "Oh, we also have hoops and all the wall pads and all this stuff as well." And I was like, "All right, let's do it." Because every other place, every other sport court manufacturer, they were running like 4 or 5 months ahead or behind schedule as far as when they could get in. And I didn't find a spot until 3-ish months before we had to be in here. Just nothing came up. Everything was too expensive or just wouldn't fit for our needs. The landlord wouldn't let us turn it into a gym, all that stuff. But this spot came up, and that was the only place that was able to get our stuff in. Big flooring mistake. That sport court flooring did not work. It's made for your new facilities that are insulated and have climate control and all that fun stuff. This does not. So just because of like, it's great stuff under the right conditions. Like when it was the right conditions out, it was great. But like if it got super humid, which it does in Indiana in the summers, it was like the floor absorbed it all and it was like running on ice. It helped me personally as a trainer because I had to manage a group of 8 to 10 and figure out how to run a workout where they're not moving around very much. So like I got super creative with a bunch of things like that. But I had to get some other flooring. It's similar to sport court. It's just made out of a different material and it works fine. But yeah, that process can go differently for a lot of people. It's not very fun. It's exciting, but nerve wracking, scary, and very expensive. But yeah, I got kind of lucky with that whole process.
But you pulled it off. And I don't think most people in your scenario would have any insight into that, right? Like at the start, you're a basketball coach, right? You said you're working out of a church, you have your clientele. Most of your focus is on the sport, and we
Oh
take
yeah.
for granted the courts that we're in and everything set up. Like that's not your expertise. But if you want to grow and scale a business and work in that private setting, you have to become a facility manager on top of being a basketball coach as well. And I think that's something, fast forward to where you're at now, that you've really excelled in, and you've built an incredible business. You have a great facility, and I think you're continuing to set the tone for what it can look like for basketball players. So I'll give you your flowers there, and I want to go to what it's like now. A normal week, how many times or how many players are coming through your doors and training with you guys?
I don't know the exact number because it does vary. I would say on average between 40 and 50, which at first like thought of hearing that number, you might not think it's that much, but the way everything is structured, we try to provide as much value as an opportunity as possible, of course, while still keeping quality high. So like all of our memberships are just unlimited. So like we don't have a ton of people, but the people we do have are pretty consistent for the most part. So like we have a pretty tight knit group of kids, like all the way from little kids all the way up through our college guys, and pro guys in the summer because they're just consistently in the gym and seeing each other. But 40 to 50, yeah, it's probably a little bit higher than 40 or 50, anywhere between 40 and 60 throughout the week. Again, it just depends. Like sometimes people are on vacation and all that, but we don't have a ton of people, but the people we do have are very consistent and are just constantly in the gym. And that's how
Yeah,
I prefer. Like I don't want to work with 400 people because even if
right,
we have a team of 5, 6, 7 trainers, like how great of a product can we still deliver at that scale?
right.
I would rather have a smaller group of people and really really dive in with those people and make a difference for those kids.
Absolutely. What is your initial offer? So if you have never trained with Pro Standard before, interested in it, how do you set yourselves up and how do you get people to buy into a longer term commitment?
Yeah, so just a trial session. I experimented with free sessions before, like your first session free, but I recently changed from that probably 2 or 3 months ago. I just saw the no-show rate was so high. Like no matter what I tried before, if I tried calling them, texting them, whatever, the no-show rate for that free session was so high. And I mean, of course, obviously, people don't show up, then it's hard to close them on anything. So I switched to $10 trials. So that is my initial offer right now. Somebody goes to our website or they see us on social media, they will see book a trial class and they click that. They ask a couple different questions, and I'm getting kind of technical with this, but
No, I like it.
the form I have set up for that, it will route them to the level of class they should be in. So it takes us out of the equation so the customer can efficiently right away book their class instead of just filling out a form, waiting for us to call, which we try to call as fast as we can. But I mean, like stuff comes up. So they can answer questions like, my kid is 10 to 11 years old and they are a beginner and they've played for this many years. So it'll route them directly to, it's called our foundations, it's like our little kids beginner class. It'll route them directly. But if they're a 10-year-old that has played a long time and is very advanced, it will route them to our next level, which is it's called our Rising Stars. And it'll take them directly to our calendar. They book their class within 3 or 4 days. That's another thing I did is when they book their trial class, they can only book it like 3 or 4 days in advance. They can't do a week after.
Nice.
They can't do anything else because that's another reason. Like even with the $10 trial, if people book it the next week, their chance of showing up is so low. So we want like when they are ready to book, when they come and sign up for that trial, we want them to book and show up within a few days, ideally the
Smart.
next day. But all just little things that made the show rate much higher, and it made that process to get them into a client so much easier because like we were, this is just sales stuff, but like we're at the front of their mind still. Like if you're scrolling on social media and you see an ad and you think it's cool and you click off, you're just not gonna buy.
Right.
Like you're just not going to. But if that ad and that company does a good job of staying on the front of your mind, then you're much more likely to buy. So,
Certainly.
but yeah, once that trial, they show up for the trial, they have $10 in there. They already have skin in the game. They're invested at even $10. Like you put your card in and it's on file now. Like
Right.
you are invested. They show up, we give them a great experience. Like our staff all knows that there's a trial, and we make sure that they have a fantastic experience. And after that, we of course talk to them. It's hard to get people to sign up, on the spot because like I mean, I personally am not going to make a decision for like a 3 month, 6 month commitment like on the spot like that.
Right.
So I'll have my manager, his name's Chase. He'll call them the next morning after they've had a chance to talk to each other and all that stuff and just relay the information. So that's how that process goes. It's changed a lot over the past few years. We've had to iron a lot of stuff out, test a lot of stuff, and just work our way around all that because there's so many things that would go wrong, aren't ideal, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
that's a part of it, learning what works. And that's just
I've,
personally how I do it.
I've got two questions now.
Yeah.
First one, what are the offers you have? So Chase calls up. What are those offers? And then after you get into that can be short and brief. I would love to know maybe your top 3 shifts in things that you used to do, changed up because it wasn't working, and those that made the greatest returns for you.
Okay. As far as the offers go, we really have 2 different memberships. Standard membership, which is unlimited access to everything, all of our classes, all of our shooting labs, which is just on the shooting machine, any camps we have weekend leagues going on right now, and any open gyms we have. So if you get that standard membership, you have unlimited, you can be here 40 hours a week. Some kids pretty much do. So that standard membership, it starts out at $250 a month, and you can knock a little bit off that price. If you pay in full 3 months ahead of time, it'll be about $230 a month. 6 months ahead of time, it'll be $210 a month. And then 12 months ahead of time, it would be 175 a month. So if you commit for that longer term, you knock off a little bit. And I mean, even the 250 a month is, we focus a lot on providing as much value as we possibly can for that, to where they feel like that 250 is just like a steal.
Absolutely.
Which, I mean, I believe it is, because if you can be in here for 20, 30, 40 hours, like at any other like hourly place, that's going to be a hefty bill.
Absolutely.
And that's why I originally switched to it, is because we'd have so many kids that would be like, I want to do the 3 time a week, 4 time a week, but like I just don't know if I can afford it. And like we were charging like crazy amount for some families, and I'm like, this, I don't
Right.
know. So I changed to that, and the response was so good. And then I have our credit memberships, which is for people who like live really far and just can't justify the standard, which is 5 for 125 a month, and then 9 for 200. We don't have a ton of those, but again, it's just for people who live really far away, or
Yeah.
kids who play multiple sports, or people who want to train in season, but of course their schedule takes up a lot. Just different cases. Again, we don't have a ton of those. Majority of people are under the standard, which we try to push and recommend as much as we possibly can, because that's what's going to get them better the quickest.
For sure.
But what was the other one? You said shifts in thinking.
Yeah. Anything that you feel like over your time, maybe some lessons for younger coaches. One for me in particular was running a ton of group lessons. So the first initial shift was I went completely away from individual workouts. I don't do individual workouts. I don't believe in them as a concept for getting people better. If there is a client, I mean, if I'm working with an NBA player, they obviously have the budget to pay for individual, but at a similar hourly rate that I would make in an average group session. But I'll hire on a team of people to be there playing defense, being other offensive options, having decision making as a standard component of everything. But the initial shift was we went from a decent amount of individuals to no individuals, small group, and that was a huge improvement. And then another shift for us that was really nice was not charging per session and charging for the more membership or academy model, which is what I run based off my travel schedule. So you're paying for 9 weeks at a time, and that's your commitment minimum. So those are some that stick out to me, but would love to hear from you. Yeah, what are some learnings? What are some lessons you could teach to some trainers that are just getting into it?
Yeah, that one you touched on would probably be my number one, if I'm being honest. The shift to group training. I think it benefits all parties. Like, of course, for the kids, they will get different stimulus to respond to. Like individual, like you can only do so much. Like, of course, the coach can play defense and all that stuff, but like you said, I don't necessarily believe in it. Like the only time we do individual work is because of a weird Indiana rule, and in season you can't do workouts with other IHSAA participants. Like it's such a weird rule.
Funny.
I guess it started during COVID, so people wouldn't like recruit. I don't know, but anyways, that's the only time we do individual workouts, and we only do it with high schoolers in season, just because kids still want to train, and like that's the only option we have.
Yep.
But the moment season is over, we move back to our groups. Like
Got it.
The moment it's over. That was a massive change, and of course for us, you make more money in the hour, and it like I always tell people the reason individuals are so high is not because you get that much more value. Like I'd argue you even get less, because you have nothing to react to, no stimulus, all that stuff. But you're paying for the gym time plus the trainer's time, which is expensive.
Yeah.
Like that's why they're so expensive. It's not because the value is just that much better. Like
Right.
how many kids need exact individual attention? Like
Right. And that the side of it is the most important thing is the thing that will get them better faster, like you've said, is the small group work.
yes.
So it's better for all parties. I think it could be easy to listen to what we're talking about. And for context, Brandon runs an awesome business. I've built a business that I'm really proud of. All of the major decisions to that have been financially rewarding as a business have been rewarding for the players as well. And that's been the reason the shift happened, was like, all right, how can we serve the players better? But there is a world that exists where you serve the players more and you have the ability to have a sustainable business. And then on top of that, like, this is a whole hypothesis I have, and why I'm such a huge fan of Coach IQ, is if we can help trainers make better businesses, they will be able to give more to the players in front of them. Because all too often you see these trainers, they burn out because they're not running an efficient business model. And then the thing that they love to do, train the players, they can't do anymore because it doesn't make sense from a time perspective and a financial perspective.
Hey, I just want to take a quick break. My name is Russell. I'm one of the founders of CoachIQ. We put on this podcast here. Our goal is to interview top coaches and business owners in the youth sports space across the United States and give you guys insight on the ground floor. How are they running their business? What do they think about the current ecosystem? And what are their thoughts on where things are going? So we're super excited to bring this to you guys. If you don't know about us, we are an all-in-one sports management platform. We run a lot of the businesses that we have on the podcast. And we're fortunate enough now to work with about 1,000 sports coaches across the United States. And it's our goal to make your life as easy as possible in running the business itself. Website, scheduling, payment management, everything handled seamlessly on our platform. And really what separates us is we are built specifically for sports. We're not powering nail salons. We're not powering Pilates studios. Every second of the day, we focus on you. So if that's something you need, where you're looking to get your time back or you're looking to actually grow your business, CoachIQ is really the only platform thinking about you every single day, interviewing and working with the top coaches in the industry, specific to sports. So if that's something we can help you with, we would love to connect with you. You can visit our website, coachiq.com, schedule a free demo there. The demos are awesome. It's really less about selling and much more about just walking through what we've learned and providing value on what other coaches are doing. And if it's a match, it's a match. So absolute no-brainer. Go schedule a demo, totally worth the time. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for customers who are working with us. It allows us to do all this, make better product. And the main goal, help athletes all across the United States and the world get a phenomenal experience from you guys, the coaches.
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that. I was just about to comment on that. Like, when we talk about business and this stuff, a common thing that like I'll see people say or hear is like, you're in it for the money, all that stuff. But you can 100% make money while doing what's best for the kids and the players. Like, there is not a like one-to-one trade-off. It's not like I'm on the side of making money or I'm on the side of the kids.
Right.
Like, of course, like, we love it and we would do it for free, but we wouldn't be able to do it at this scale or be able to affect so many people or make an impact as big as we are if we didn't make money. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't be able to hire on a team of 7 trainers that can all provide a great workout so that the kids can and families can have like ultimate flexibility with their schedule if we didn't make money. Like, of course we can do it for free, or we would do it for free, but it's just not, bills have to be paid. Like,
Right.
and if we want to do this on the scale that we are, and you just can't do that. And I think people understand and respect that when they see us investing back in the kids. Like,
Yeah.
I think they understand, like, if nothing changed ever and we just didn't listen to our customers or anything, then I think people would get upset. But at least personally, for the first 2 years I did this, like, I didn't pay myself $1.
Right.
Like, we built the whole gym. So I think people see that, but that's just a common thing that I see or hear a lot, is that people in youth sports are just in it for the money and all that stuff, which, I mean, some probably are, but it's, you can do what's best for both worlds and it can be good for both sides. It's not a one or the other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can I want to talk about some automations here. I want to shift a little bit. You are a younger coach in the game. I would put myself in that same boat, younger coach, potentially a little bit more tech savvy than some of the old heads in the game.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, 25.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of value in automating parts of these in-person businesses. And I think there's also this misconception that if you automate, you lose your personal touch. Whereas I think it's the inverse. If you automate things, you'll actually be able to have more personal touch and more personal interactions with your clientele. What have been the things that you've automated in your business?
Man, yeah, that I've been on a kick of that the past 6 to 8 months. Like it has, one, saved me so much time, and two, made the experience better for everybody involved. And I do agree with you that you don't lose your personal touch with it. Like it only makes it better for everybody involved. Like, so a very, very simple one is like just session reminders. Like I would get a lot of no shows, and I mean Coach IQ has this built in into their platform, which is cool. I just send everybody a reminder like a couple hours before, just a text that, hey, your session's in a couple hours, and I really don't have many no shows at all. Like very rarely. Like that's such a simple one that makes such a big difference, because before, like every coach has had that text like an hour before, hey coach, we're not going to be there, sorry, can we reschedule, blah blah blah, all that stuff. No. Like we don't get that anymore ever. I mean, some people will say it, but at the end of the day, like they registered and their spots taken. Like we don't have to worry about it. It's not that step of us having to say, okay, reschedule to this time, here you go, blah blah blah, is gone.
Right.
Because in that reminder text, I have a little link that says, if you need to reschedule here, and they will do it if they need to. So just session reminders is a massive one. Another one that I've done is for our 3, 6, and 12-month commitments. They will get, updates in their email like, hey, 30 days until you expire, 15 days, whatever. And then, of course, renewal options and things like that. That's another one. I would get a lot of questions about that. Of course, like email flows, people really appreciate that. I get a lot of comments on that. Every time someone signs up, whether it be for a trial, a camp, like literally any sign up into our Coach IQ system, they get a sequence of 12 emails that are just packed with value for their kid, for the parent, the family in general, just value and information. I get a lot of people that say they enjoy that. Another one I'm working on right now, which I think is going to be great. Whenever somebody signs on, like whenever they purchase a membership, it's going to send them like a email with a vault of just as much value as they could ever want or imagine. Like probably more than they're actually going to read, but just information like parent guide, what kids can do at home, how they can best utilize our gym, all these different things. Like I have in Coach IQ, you can make like your online training and everything. Mm-hmm. Like I will direct them all the way to that, and I have a bunch of stuff in there. Like it's more value than they will ever need, use, or want. So when they sign on, they're like, okay,
right,
this is great. And like all of these things are just things that make the experience better. And I mean, I even talked about it before with like my trial session booking. Like that's all automated. Before, they used to have to fill out a form, wait for me to call. I would book them, send them the link or whatever, and they'd have to go in and sign on. And that process to get somebody signed on took like, it might happen right away. It might happen in a week. It might happen in 2 weeks. It might never happen. But when they sign on now, it's all automated. I ask the questions I would ask over the phone, and they can just book right away. So from them to go from trial or click the trial button to show up in our gym is maximum 4 days, max. But just being able to cater to the family's needs like right away is probably the biggest effect that different automations have made for me. People enjoy it a lot. And I think like with the way automations and AI and stuff are going, like it's only going to get even better. Like of course we'll never do anything like to where my thought is like everybody has talked over the phone to like robots. and they hate it. Like that's where like I draw the line. Like,
yeah.
Like I'll only do automations and use AI to where it immediately benefits the family, me, or whoever's being involved in this, my staff,
Yeah.
things
And
like that.
we could get fairly futuristic with it. And I think there's a trend where so much of life is becoming automated, it's going online. With that, there are increased waves of people going towards the intentional in-person experience. And that's where I think a business like yours is so valuable, because yes, you're helping players get better at a skill of basketball, but you're facilitating human interaction. And I would be willing to bet you go to your clients and you ask them their favorite part of the day or the week, it's going to be likely in the gym playing basketball. And that's how it is across the country. That's why basketball is such a loved sport. So if you can set up systems and processes to allow those times to be more frequent for people, it's a win-win all around. So on that note of futurism, you're a guy that I think is pushing the envelope and is thinking critically in the terms of business and basketball. As a private trainer, are there any certain goals or desires you have for pro standard, or any hot takes towards the future of basketball?
I don't have a ton of hot takes, really. I think as far as goals go, my next goal would be to find a solution for the consistent complaints we hear about travel basketball and AAU. So, I mean, if you are in the basketball world, you have heard this a million times.
Yeah.
I think there is a solution that we have the ability to make to where we can find an alternative and solution to many problems when it comes to the whole AAU scene. I don't know about you, but personally, we get a lot of parents and families that come in and they complain about their AAU team. They do all this and all that, and I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. I told you not to do it a couple weeks ago, but then their counter argument is always like, but they need the 5-on-5, which fine, okay, it's a fine argument, but I think there is a much better way to do it.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts in my head. Not sure exactly where to go, but I have an idea, and I think we're going to run a trial period next spring as far as a solution to that, because that, I mean, owning a business is about solving problems, right? That's what I do for the kids. That's what CoachIQ does for me and other sports trainers, and that is probably one of the biggest problems I hear is the whole AAU scene from.
Yeah.
I would argue the large majority of our parents. Very few come in here and are like, "Oh, I love my AAU team."
Yeah.
So as far as goals go, that's probably my biggest one for the next year, is to be able to find a solution to that and be able to execute it in a way that we can make that experience go from something parents and kids don't like to, again, the best part of their day. Like you said, they come here, they enjoy it, and even for the kids too who maybe aren't the greatest, just giving them an opportunity, because like kids who don't play that much, they do not need to be playing AAU.
Right.
Like they don't, in my opinion.
Right.
Like we started like a fall or a 3-on-3 league on the weekends here, and like that was the main reason, like just a rec league for kids to come in, and because our gym is, my court is like 60 feet, so like you can get up and down, but kind of not.
Yeah. I think that's some of the most fun basketball to play.
Oh,
The quick transition. It's awesome.
I play with my friends sometimes, like just 3-on-3 full court in here. It's only 60 feet. It's so fun.
Yes.
And there's a lot of, just due to the environmental constraints, there's a lot of benefits to it as well. 3-on-3, and it's harder to, I think it's harder to score, because to get back on defense is like 2 steps.
Right.
So like defense is always set.
Right.
And it's just smaller space, all that stuff. Anyways, but just affording opportunity for more of a rec look, and then using that rec league the 3-on-3 to where the kids can then translate that 3-on-3 into a 5-on-5. I think that can be a great feed instead of going directly into the 3-on-3 into the 5-on-5 and AAU, because like I always tell the parents, like, AAU can be great if you know how to utilize the tool correctly. Of course, you have to be on a team that like you get your reps and all that stuff, but like a lot just don't know how to utilize it and trust that that AAU system is the system that is going to make their kid amazing or make them love basketball or make them do all this stuff, which I mean, it's just simply, in my opinion, not. Of course, there's outliers. Like I'll hate on AAU a lot, but there's outliers. There's people who do a fantastic job. I personally had a great experience when I was younger and played AAU, but of course, there's the other side of it, which is
right
here.
Right. It's
So
great
yeah,
for the top level players.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of I would say the bulk of the volume does not have a great experience and a little bit misled on what the tool gives them versus what they think it should give them. And so if you're trying to help players get better and maybe play at a college level, and if they're not at that college level yet, they need to develop to get there before getting the exposure. Now there's obviously a timing piece to it all, but I mean, I've got 7th graders playing fall and spring AAU right now. It's like, you don't need to do that.
We got people here that play in season middle school AAU.
It's unbelievable.
Like, how are you playing AAU during your school season?
Well, when you figure out the solution to that, let me know. Maybe we can hop back on the podcast and share it with the world.
I'm gonna
Brandon,
try.
appreciate you coming on, spreading the knowledge. I think there are many coaches out there, if they listen to this and take the words that you shared today and implemented those actions, they could drastically improve their own businesses and basketball across the world as a whole. So thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. Like any coaches that listen or need help, advice, like I'm always down to talk, always down to help. Like that's become a major focus of mine is being able to help other coaches run businesses as well, which aligns with CoachIQ too, obviously. But like I've just seen personally the impact that this has made, so I want to help others do the same. So anybody that needs to reach out, always hit me up. Instagram handle is just at Brandon Evans, but the A is an X. They didn't have my normal Instagram handle. I was upset. But yeah, we'll put it up on the screen. Yeah, I'm always down to talk. I tried to stay kind of surface level with some of the stuff I was talking about. It can go way deeper. It can go way more techie and all that stuff. But I'm always down to talk. I mean, I still would like to learn from other coaches. So yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It was super fun. I always enjoy talking about this stuff. I can get nerdy about it.
Love it. Hey, me too. Well, first of many. And until next time.
Yep, absolutely.